Hello everyone, my name is Anishra and I am an intern at Lexus & Company. Today in this video I'll be discussing about some other rights of arrested person and in the previous video I have also discussed some of the important rights of arrested person. In this video I'll be just extending those other rights of arrested person. So the arrested person has so many rights. Like the arrested person also has a right to consult a lawyer, and the CRPC, we have it according to section 41D. It totally confers on the prisoners a right to consult his lawyers during the interrogation, and the Article 22 Clause 1 of the Constitution. It also states that the arrested person has the right to appoint a lawyer and be defended by a pleader of his own choice. And section 303 of CRPC, it also states that when a person is alleged to have committed any offense before a criminal court or against whom proceedings have started, then that person has a right to be defended by a legal practitioner. And now I will be discussing about the right to free legal aid. So the right to free legal aid is also given to all the arrested person. Like section 304 of CRPC, it explicitly provides that when a trial is conducted before the court of session and the accused is not presented by the legal practitioner, then in such cases, or even when it appears to the accused that the accused has no sufficient means to appoint a pleader, then the court may appoint in that case a pleader for his defense at the expense of the state only. And Article 39A, it also obligates to the state to provide the free legal aid and for the purpose of securing justice. This right is also explicitly provided or given by the case of Khatri versus the state of Bihar. In this case, the court has held that to provide free legal aid to the indigent accused person, and it is also given at the time when the accused is produced before the magistrate for the first time, along with the time commences, and then the right to the arrested person cannot be denied even when the accused fails to apply for it. And if the state fails to provide legal aid to the indigent accused person, then in such cases it would mediate the whole trial as void. And like in the case of Sukh Das versus the United Territory of Arunachal Pradesh, it was held by the court that the right of the indigent person cannot be denied even when the accused fails to apply for it. Like this means that state has to, it is obligatory on the part of the state to provide for this right to free legal aid to every indigent person and every accused person as well, and that they should have this right, and this right cannot be denied, that every such accused should have the right to free legal aid. And if the state fails to provide the legal aid to the indigent accused person, then in such case it will mediate the whole trial as void. Now the accused person also has a right to keep silence. Now it may appear like why is this right provided to the accused person, but it is necessary right. Like right to keep silence, it is not recognized in any law, but it derives its authority from the CRPC and the Indian Evidence Act as well. This right, it is mainly related to the statement and the confession that is made in the court. And whenever a confession or the statement is made in the court, then it is the duty of the magistrate to find that the such statement or the confession was made voluntarily or not. That means the voluntary confession and the statement must be provided by the arrested person, and the court is having the duty to see that only voluntary statement or the confessions are made. And no arrested person can be compelled to speak anything in the court. Like no compulsion will work, and no compulsion should actually happen as well. Like Article 20 Clause 2 of the Constitution of India, it says that no person can be compelled to be a witness against himself, and this is also a principle of self-incrimination. This principle is reiterated in the case of Nandini Satpathy versus P.L. Dani, and in this case it is stated that no one can force any person to give any statement or to answer questions, and the accused person has a right to keep silence during the process of interrogation. In this case it was held, and now the accused also has the right to be examined by a medical practitioner. Like section 54 of the CRPC, it explicitly states that when the arrested person alleges that examination of his body will lead to a fact which will disapprove the fact of commission of an offence by him, or which will lead to the commission of an offence by any other person against his body, then the court may order for medical examination of such accused person at the request of him, that is the accused, unless the court is satisfied that such request is just made for the purpose of defeating the justice. So in all cases, actually this right is used in all cases if it is being used by the accused himself, that they want to exercise this right to have their medical examination, because there in certain cases it is necessary to be medically examined to reveal the truth and to put forward the story, the prosecution story or the defendant story. Further, there are also many other rights that are granted to the accused persons, like it shall also be the duty of the person under whose custody the arrested person is then to take reasonable care of the health and the safety of the accused. Further, there is also this right to the compensation of the accused person who was groundlessly arrested, and that means if there was no ground for arrest but arrest was made, then there is also right of compensation. It is also given in section 358 of CRPC. Section 40A1A of CRPC says that the police officer may give the notice to a person suspected of committing any cognizable offence, or to appear before him at such date and place. Like in such case, no arrest could be made, and this just making any notice giving any notice to appear to secure the attendance of the accused or the suspect before the police would be just sufficient, and it will not be necessary in that case to make arrest. Like and there are also rights like what kind of arrest should be made, like submission to the custody or touching the body physically or to the body. Like in this case, the police officer should not cause death to the person while making an arrest unless the arrestee is charged with an offence punishable with death or imprisonment for life. And there is also the other right, like the police officer should not make any more restraint than is necessary for the escape. Like there are many times such kind of so much restraint is put on the person than was necessary for the purpose of effecting the arrest. Like sometimes the restraint or detention without any arrest, it is also illegal. So this is all about the rights of the arrested person. I hope it was clear, and thank you for listening.